We have attained the quorum and now call the meeting to order. Confirmation of minutes of the 5th meeting held on November 7th. Can I take the minutes as confirmed? Matters arising, I've got nothing to report on our meeting with the CS. Further business for council meeting of November 19th. Tabling of papers report number 3/1415 of the House Committee on Consideration of Subsidiary Legislation and Other Instruments, and no members would like to speak on this subject. Questions. Mr. Michael Teen has replaced his question, and Mr. Christopher Cheung has given up on his slot, and his slot has been taken over. Members' motions. Proposed resolution to be moved by Mr. James TO under Section 34(4) of the Interpretation General Clauses Ordinance in relation to Inland Revenue Double Taxation Relief, Republic of Korea Order, and also Inland Revenue Double Taxation Relief, Socialist Republic of Vietnam Amendment Order 2014. Motion under the Legislative Council Powers and Privileges Ordinance to be moved by Ms. Sid Ho. Business for Council meeting of November 26. Questions. There are 22, 6 oral and 16 written. No bills for first and second reading. Members' motions. Motion on report of the Joint Committee on Long-Term Care Policy by Mr. Fernando Cheung and Mr. Gary Fan, Hong Kong People-Oriented Policy Formulation by Mr. Gary Fan. For Mr. Fan's motion amendment, the notice deadline for notice is 19th of November, Wednesday. There is a list containing 8 items of subsidiary legislation. The amendment deadline will expire on November the 26th. If you wish to speak, please give your notice before 5 p.m. 18th of November. Report of Bills Committee and Contracts Rights of Third Order.
Committee has completed scrutiny of the Contracts Rights of Third Parties Bill, which seeks to provide for the enforcement of contractual terms by third parties and related matters. Details of the deliberations of the Bills Committee are set out in the report issued to members. To address the concern raised by the Hong Kong Bar Association that a deed of mutual covenant may contain terms not relating to land, the administration will move committee stage amendment to clause 3 in bracket 2 so as to clarify that all provisions in a deed of mutual covenant, as well as a covenant relating to land, are to be excluded from the application of the bill. The administration will also move CSA to improve the English text of clause 8(2) subparagraph B Roman letter 2. The Bills Committee does not object to the resumption of second reading debate on the bill at the Council meeting of 26 November 2014. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next, Statute Law, Miscellaneous Provisions Bill 2014. Mr. Tam Yu Jong. Chairman, the Bills Committee had 4 meetings with the administration to discuss the bill. Members do not have an in-principle objection to the amendments raised in the bill. This bill is an omnibus bill containing 15 sections seeking to move amendments, miscellaneous and technical amendments to ordinances and subsidiary legislation. We have set out all the deliberations in the report. The administration will be moving committee stage amendments to some of the provisions in the bill. The Bills Committee does not have any objection to the CSAs, and nor would it seek to move any CSAs itself. The administration intends to move resumption debate on November 26, and the Bills Committee doesn't have an objection. Just a reminder that for the two bills, the amendment, the notice deadline is the 17th of November. Report of the Subcommittee on Food and Drugs Composition and Labelling Amendment Number 2, Regulation 2014, Ms. Alice Mack. Chairman, the Subcommittee held 5 meetings, including a public hearing. We discussed the appropriateness of the length of the grace period for infant formula, follow-up formula, and pre-packaged food for infants and young children. The administration explained that since there is a 2-year grace period for nutrition labeling scheme, the same grace period is proposed for follow-up formula and pre-packaged food for infants and young children, so the trade will have sufficient time to get prepared. As for infant formula, given that it is the sole source of nutrition for infants if breastfeeding is not feasible, a shorter grace period of 18 months is proposed to enhance the protection for infants' health. Some members indicated their intention to move amendments to the proposed grace period. Nevertheless, as an extension of the scrutiny period could not be achieved at the sitting on October 22nd, the deadline for amendment has come and gone. The subcommittee also expressed concerns over the fluoride content in infant formula, the readability of the nutrition labeling, as well as the deterrent effect of the penalty for nutrition labeling. All the details are set out in the report itself. Next, Overseas Lawyers Qualification for Admission Amendment Rules 2014. Mr. Dennis Kwok.
Thank you, Chairman. The subcommittee has completed scrutiny of the Overseas Lawyers Qualification for Admission Amendment Rules 2014 commencement notice. Details of the deliberations of the subcommittee are set out in the report issued to members. The subcommittee does not object to the commencement of the Overseas Lawyers Qualification for Admission Amendment Rules 2014 on 2nd January 2015. The subcommittee considers that whilst Hong Kong welcomes and encourages overseas law talents to practice law in Hong Kong, there should be sufficient checks and balances in place for admitting overseas lawyers as Hong Kong solicitors in order to ensure fairness and to uphold the high quality and integrity of the practice of law in Hong Kong. Thank you, Chairman.
Just a reminder that for amendment, the notice deadline is the 10th of December. For amendment, the deadline is the 3rd of December. Position of the BCs as of November 13th, there are 16 BCs ongoing, 7 under the House, 4 to do with subsidiary legislation, and 1 policy. There is 1 BC that is on the waiting list. There are 2 that have submitted the reports, and the slots available can be activated for other bills. All right, moving on. Next, nomination and election of members for appointment to the Select Committee to inquire into the background and reason for the delay of the construction of the Hong Kong section of the Guangzhou-Shenzhen-Hong Kong Express Rail Link. At the last House Committee meeting, members endorsed the proposal for setting up this committee. The number of members is 13. Members also agreed that in accordance with Paper CB1, 181, 1414, Powers 1314, and Schedule 3, nomination is made for appointment to the Select Committee. In accordance with the procedures, members should make a nomination orally to be seconded by 1 member, and this has to be accepted by the member being nominated. If the members are nominated exceed the quota, then we will have to put it to the vote electronically. The members receiving the highest number of votes will be elected. Since we need to have 13 members, members can vote 13 times, but no more than 13 times. If some members voted for 14 times, then all the votes cast will be excluded. After the members have been elected, we will break for 10 minutes so that the members can elect the chairman and vice chairman among themselves. All the recommendations for the membership will be submitted to the president for appointment. Now we get started with the nomination. Mr. Kwok Him, I nominate Mr. Ben Chen, Dr. Lo Wai Kwok as seconds. Mr. Chen, do you accept the nomination? Mrs. Regina Ip. Michael Tin. Mr. Michael Tin, seconder. Mr. Ip Kwok Him, seconds. Mr. Tin is not here. Does he accept the nomination? He does. Mr. Michael Tin accepts the nomination. Mr. Charles Mok. Mr. Wu Chi-wai, seconder. Mr. Sin Chung Kai. Mr. Wu, you accept the nomination? Yes, I do. Mr. Gary Fan. Charles Mok, seconder. Mr. K.K. Fong, second. Mr. Mok, do you accept the nomination? Yes, I do. Mr. Tommy Zhang. I nominate Mr. Frankie Yik, seconder. Mr. James Tin, seconds. Mr. Yik, do you accept the nomination? Yes, you do. Mr. Wong Kwok Kin. Mr. Bill Tang. Ms. Alice Mack, seconds. Mr. Tang, you accept the nomination? Yes, I do. Dr. N. Chung, I nominate Mr. Chen Kam Nam and Mr. Wong Ting Kwong, seconds. Mr. Chen, do you accept the nomination? Yes, I do. Mr. Sin Chung Kai. Mr. Gary Fan. Mr. Wu Chi-wai, seconds. Mr. Gary Fan, do you accept the nomination? Yes, I do. Mr. Alan Leung, I nominate Miss Claudia Mo. Mr. Wu Chi-wai, seconds. Ms. Mo, do you accept the nomination? Yes, I do. Mr. Tam Yu Zhong, Dr. Martin Lau. Mr. Stephen Ho, seconds. Mr. Lau, do you accept the nomination? Mr. Christopher Zhang. Dr. Lo Wai Kwok. Dr. Martinell, seconds. Do you accept the nomination? Yes, I do. Ms. Sid Ho. Mr. Lee Chuk Yan, seconder. Mr. Alan Leung, seconds. Mr. Lee Chuk Yan, you accept the nomination? Yes, I do.
我依邊睇唔到。
Can't quite see you. Mr. Yu Si Wing, I nominate Mr. Tony Che and the seconder. Mr. Stephen Ho, seconds. Mr. Che, you accept the nomination? Yes, I do. Any further nominations? Mr. Raymond Chen, I nominate Mr. Leung Kwok Hong, seconder. Mr. Raymond Wong, seconds. Mr. Leung Kwok Hong, do you accept the nomination? Yes, I do.
有冇其他提名？
Any further nominations? All right then. We have 14 nominations. Mr. Kenneth Leung. Can you handle a sec, Chairman? Never mind, Chairman. Thank you. All right then. If there are no further nominations, we have 14 being nominated. As the number exceeds 13, we have to put it to the vote. Electronic order, please.
表決。
All right. We will activate the electronic voting system, and I'll be reading out the names of the candidates who have been nominated. So after I've read out the name, and if you like to vote for that candidate, then please press the present button and then you press the support button. And if that's not your favorite candidate, then you don't have to press any button. Alright, and if you vote for a particular candidate, you are not supposed to vote for more than 13 times, or else all the votes cast by this member will not be counted. And I'll wait until after you have voted on all the candidates and after I've confirmed that no member has voted for more than 13 times before I declare the number of votes obtained by individual candidates. Alright, Pen Chen, please press the present button. Okay, so you will have to press the present button and then the for button. Please check your votes. Mr. To, please confirm your vote. If you'd like to vote for a particular candidate, please press the for button. Okay.
你其實係
Mr. KK Kwok, please verify your vote.
好啊。
Chairman, point of order. Is there a time limit as to when we cast our vote? After I feel that we've already completed the procedure, because I have the screen here and I can see who has voted, and after I've checked all the votes and I'll declare voting is closed, and then I'll ask the secretary to announce the number of votes won by individual candidates. Next, Michael Tian, please cast your votes.
田北辰
Michael Tian.
何秀蘭議員
Mr. To. All right. Please check your votes. Voting is closed, and secretary, please jot down the number of votes Mr. Michael Tian has won. Next, Wu Chi Wai. Please cast your votes.
陳克勤
Gary Chen. Mr. Gary Chen. Mr. Ik Kwok Him. Mr. Tam Yu Chong. Mr. Wong Teng Kwong. Mr. Chen Kem Lam. Mr. Leung Chi Chang. Ms. Elizabeth Quat and Mr. Ben Chan. So please check your votes. In fact, if you do not prefer that candidate, you don't have to cast your vote at all. You don't necessarily have to vote. The best thing is for you to press the present button, and that's it. Alright, voting is now closed. And Secretary, please jot down the number of votes won by the candidate. Next, Charles Mock. Please cast your votes.
請各位核對
Please verify your votes.
現在係結束。
Voting is closed. Secretary, please record the number of votes won by this candidate. Next, Mr. Frankie Yick, please cast your votes.
OK，
All right, voting is closed. Secretary, please jot down the number of votes he has won. Next, Bill Tang, please cast your votes.
我想提同事啊。
By way of a reminder, whether you'd like to abstain or support, so you can only cast 13 votes, and if you cast your votes 14 times, then all the votes will be nullified. I've already said that twice, and this is the third time I'm announcing it, and if you choose not to listen, it's up to you. Okay, please check your votes. Please cast your votes, and voting is now closed. And Secretary, please jot down the number of votes obtained by this candidate. Next, Chan Kam Lam, please cast your votes. Mr. Gary Fan and Mr. KK Fong, please confirm the button that you've pressed.
好啊，請
Voting is now closed. Please record the number of votes won by this candidate. Next, Mr. Gary Fan. Please cast your votes.
請各位核對你所作嘅決定。
Please check your votes. Voting is now closed. Secretary, please jot down the number of votes won by this candidate. Next, Claudia Mo. Please cast your votes.
陳教林諗佢1成咗就一年計咗好多次。
哎呦！請各位核對。
Please verify your votes. And voting is now closed. Secretary, please jot down the number of votes won by this candidate. Next, Martin Liao. Please cast your votes.
請大家核對你所作。
Please verify your votes. And voting is now closed. Secretary, please record the number of votes obtained by this candidate. Next, Lo Wai Kwok.
大家開始投票。
Please proceed to vote.
請大家核對。
Please check your votes. Voting is closed. Secretary, please jot down the number of votes. Next, Mr. Lee Chek Yen. Please proceed to vote.
請各位核對所作。
Please check your votes. Voting is closed. Secretary, please jot it down. Next, Tony Chair. Please proceed to vote.
請各位核對所作嘅決定。
Please check your votes. Voting is closed. Please jot down the number of votes. Last, Mr. Lang Kwok Hong.
請各位核對。
Please check your votes. Abstention will not be counted. So I'm not pressing any button at all. Sorry. My apologies. There is no way that you can reset the button. You can press it again. There is no way. I'm not able to reset it. Okay, so we'll record it.
唔得。
So please, register that I'm not casting my vote. Who's not casting his vote now?
有五位
5, 6. Secretary, please read out the 6 names. Sin Chung Kai, Emily Lau, Alan Leung, Dennis Kwok, Lee Chet Yen, Ma Fong Kwok. All right. Please verify your votes, and voting is now closed. And Secretary, please jot down the number of votes won by this candidate. Okay, we'll wait till the Secretary has double-checked all the votes.
有冇人多過14？
冇人多過嘅，因為等我讀。
好啊，你讀。
我讀咧，咁跟住就會 show 晒出嚟。
好啊。而家投票程序。
Okay, the voting procedures are done. So please read out names. Ben Chan, 49. Michael Tian, 48. Wu Chi Wai, 28. Charles Mock, 26.
28。胡志偉議員係
Wu Chi Wai should be 28.
OK。莫乃光
Charles Mock, 26. Frankie Yick, 48. Bill Tang, 46. Chen Kem Lam, 39. Gary Fan, 19. Claudia Mo, 20. Martin Liao, 49. Lo Wai Kwok, 47. Lee Chet Yen, 18. Tony Che, 48. Lang Kwok Hong, 6.
咁你就可以你就跟住先。
好啊，我宣布咧獲首13位。
13 members with the highest number of votes that will be appointed to the committee: Mr. Ben Chen, Mr. Michael Tian, Mr. Wu Chi Wai, Mr. Charles Mock, Mr. Frankie Yick, Mr. Bill Tang, Mr. Chen Kam Nam, Mr. Gary Fan, Ms. Claudia Mbo, Mr. Martin Liao, Dr. Lo Wai Kwok, Mr. Lee Chia Yan, and last but not least, Mr. Tony Che. We take a break for 10 minutes for the 13 members to elect the chairman and vice chairman among themselves. We'll come back in 10 minutes to endorse the chairmanship and the vice chairmanship. Please come back in 10 minutes sharp. So please proceed to room number 4 for the election of the chairman and vice chairman.